Now, here on Amplified, we talk a lot about the new American majority because the reality is that women, people of color, and progressives are the new majority. But our political representation still doesn't actually reflect the changing demographics. Georgia is a great example of this. The state's population is growing and becoming increasingly more diverse. In fact, the new American majority makes up 62% of the voting age population, but only accounts for 53% of registered voters. The New Georgia Project works to address this issue through its voter engagement campaigns. Joining me now is Brandon Brown, political analyst and field director for the New Georgia Project. Brandon, thank you so much for joining me. I am always just in awe, frankly, of all the work that has happened there in Georgia to turn Georgia blue. Georgia's been a state and national election flashpoint for the last several years. And I would love for you to just start off by sharing how the New Georgia Project is working to get Black and brown folks registered to vote and civically engaged.
Yeah, first I just want to say thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to be here. Thank you for having me. New Georgia Project, we're literally doing the work each and every day. Like we're talking to voters, we're talking to people in the communities about like the issues that are pressing to them and making sure that they're not only registered to vote, but they also understand what are the issues and what are they voting for. And so I can tell you from the start of our organization, we've actually registered a little bit over 500,000 voters across the state of Georgia. And so we're going to continue pushing forward, continue doing the work in order to make sure that people are registered and people are getting involved in the process.
So connect the dots for us there, because so much of the energy is about registering. And we hear this all the time. Talk to us about how you translate the registered folks into actual voters who show up on Election Day.
Yeah, so we're continuously doing the work year round. Like we're talking to people that we registered to vote and then continue to dig in deeper about the issues that are important to them. And so what we found out is when we have these conversations with voters about what's important to them, what's going on in their communities, what do they really care about, those are the things that are going to continue to move voters to actually vote and participate in elections. And so that's the work that a lot of our organizing campaigns do, a lot of the work that we do year round as an organization that's going to continue to push people forward to participating.
Now, I think Democrats all across the country can take a lesson from you all in the work you're doing there. Just talking to voters every day about the issues that impact their lives. What a novel idea. Not just trying to get them to show up for somebody on the ballot they don't even know, right? Actually engaging people in the process is great. The Georgia General Assembly just voted yesterday to redistrict the state Senate in an effort to maintain GOP control because they know that Democrats are actually gaining ground. How is this going to impact future elections?
So like what we're seeing, we're looking at elected officials that are having their lines changed, right? And so this is putting progressive elected officials that are on the other side in jeopardy of losing their districts. And so when we look at how unfair this redistricting process has been, we want to make sure that everybody is included and everybody has fair representation. So specifically, Senate District 48 is one of the ones that we've looked at. And this district has changed from a majority-minority district to a minority district. And so when we look at the current senator that's sitting in that district, they are a minority progressive senator. And we want to make sure that they continue to have the power, have the influence to actually represent the voters in their district fairly. And I will say, like, even on the other side of the aisle, we've seen this strange incidents where we've had Republicans come out, specifically from Coweta County, to talk about the changes in their district lines and moving them to South Fulton, to where we see a strong minority population of specifically Black people. And so they've come out against a lot of what's going on with the redistricting process as well, to talk about not feeling represented fairly or like we didn't want to be drawn into these lines. And so it's really going to show the process of how unfair and how unclear this whole thing has been when you see both attacks from both sides.
Now, I always say that the voter should be choosing their representatives. Their representatives shouldn't be drawn and sketching crazy looking lines to choose their voters. What's interesting about what's happening in Georgia to me is that in addition to regular old gerrymandering that we're talking about, there's also this idea of prison gerrymandering playing out. In Wheeler County, for example, 1/3 of the population is incarcerated, but a lot of those people can't actually vote. So how does that skew voting in those districts?
Yeah, I mean, it directly affects those voting populations. Like, we believe that incarcerated individuals, as well as formerly incarcerated individuals, should have the right to vote, and they also should be able to vote using their permanent address. And so, when we look at the numbers and we look at the data on the back end of these prison populations that are representing these voters, so say, it's actually skewing some of the data, and some of the demographics in these districts where they're actually changing in some of the lines. And so, as we continue to advocate for this work, we want to make sure that incarcerated individuals, as well as formerly incarcerated individuals, are able to one vote, but also able to attribute their vote to their permanent address, where it will have the most impact.
Yeah, I can't help but think about, as you're talking about trying to have a fair process and you're talking about bringing more voters into the process, I'm thinking about all of the different voter suppression efforts that have happened in the state of Georgia, and wonder if you wanted to speak to the state of play right now, especially where you've got the Georgia legislature that has set itself to be able to usurp the actual electoral boards there.
Yeah, I mean, what we're seeing is the goalposts continue to move, right? Like, I think we've seen it even with this past municipal cycle. People not having the opportunity to vote as much as we saw in other election cycles. The one thing I always like to bring up is the early voting period actually decreasing. And so now we come to this period where we've seen absentee ballots work. We've seen this mailing period work where we had an extended voting period that was fair and allowed people the time and the opportunity to actually request a ballot, fill it out with informed decisions, and then mail it back, to where now we have this 2-week period where it's really hard to get all that done in that shortened period. And so this directly discourages voters from participating in the process and directly targets a certain group of voters.
Now, I am interested in how just the grassroots organizing work that you do there. You've got Georgia Governor Brian Kemp, who's bracing for a tough election in 2022, probably going to have a Republican challenger. You've also got this interesting mayoral race playing out right now in Atlanta that's going to a runoff, which presumably is going to be a Democratic seat there. I wonder, what are you hearing from actual voters as you're doing your organizing work around the issues that matter to them that'll play out in these elections that are coming up?
I mean, we're hearing that voters really want to be heard, right? Voters want elected officials to actually work for them and to do the things that they need in this moment, where voters just aren't being served. The one thing that's like really big that we continue to hear through some of our campaigns is about Medicaid expansion. So I think when we look at the governor's race and we look at our next governor, that's going to be something huge that we want to make sure that voters have the opportunity to not only express that they want this, but making sure that we hold elected officials accountable for following through on their promises. So there'll be a myriad of different issues that kind of come through, but we want to make sure not only do we get people elected, but that we make sure that we hold elected officials accountable once they're in office.
All right. Brandon Brown, thank you so much for lending your expertise and for all the work that you are doing with the New Georgia Project. We appreciate you being here with us on AMpified tonight.